All right, so we got a big old episode for this Friday afternoon or Friday evening by the time you get this. We've got Nintendo dropping new hardware. We have an update on a big anime, as well as a new Nintendo playtest that's going around. There's NDAs being signed. Stuff is happening. We also got a Pokemon Legends ZA information we're going to talk about. Riddler Q has been talking more in the last couple of days than he has in months. A lot of that to talk about, as well as a very interesting culture war story that I just kind of had to talk about. So that and a whole lot more on this episode of Pokemon Legends ZA and assorted news. All right, let's go. What is up, YouTube? My name is Mario, aka the Loot Box Hero. Check out the second channel, because the second channel is popping, aka the real Super Mario here, bringing you another video. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and jump right on into the news here. We're going to start off with Nintendo of America. Wake up! Nintendo Sound Clock is available for early access for Nintendo Switch Online members in the United States and Canada. This interactive alarm clock lets you set a time and select 35 scenes from across 5 Nintendo titles. More titles will be added later. So this is the big new tech that Nintendo, the big new piece of hardware that Nintendo dropped a couple days ago. And it's kind of hilarious because everybody been thinking, oh, the Switch 2, we're going to get Switch 2 information. And they gave us a clock. So, and maybe that's an ARG. Maybe the clock is counting down to when we actually get Switch 2 information. But no, to be honest though, the whole Nintendo Sound Clock thing, or NSC, is pretty interesting. Like the fact that you can wake up with like scenes from Nintendo games is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool novelty thing for a hardcore Nintendo fan. Now the thing is, it's got like Nintendo Switch Online integration. So how does that work? Like why would you need Nintendo Switch Online for this clock to work? You know, and is that a part of the playtest that they're doing with Nintendo Switch Online? Something else that they also announced, I believe the same day or maybe the day after the clock got announced. And they announced that they will be performing a test related to a new feature for the Nintendo Switch on the Nintendo Switch, starting at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, October 10th. Existing Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack members will be able to apply and participate in the first come, first serve basis. So this playtest already happened because today is the 11th, but I'm not sure what it was because I couldn't get in, you know, so it is what it is, you know, but hopefully somebody will break NDA and tell us what's happening with this playtest, you know, but this could have something to do with the Nintendo clock because they were announced on the same day, and the Nintendo clock does have Nintendo Switch Online like connectivity. We also have Oatmeal Dome, which is a new guy, a new person I found on Twitter that kind of leaks and information and stuff. They dropped some information about the playtest. Note, players will not be allowed to talk about the contents of the playtest. You must accept an NDA before the software can be downloaded. Pretty sure there will be people who will post on social within the first 5 minutes regardless. That didn't happen because I didn't see anybody do it. And then it says, once you click to the participation page, at the bottom of the page, agree to Nintendo Switch Online playtest terms and conditions, complete the participation registration, and your code for the test software will appear. It is important we request you to not discuss or disclose content from either Nintendo Switch Online playtest software or the website with others. Please do not pass your code for the Nintendo Switch Online playtest to others. So don't share your codes. Don't talk about it. That's the first rule of the playtest. So whatever it is, something big is happening. All right. Now some people are saying that this could have something to do with the Switch 2. It's possible. Maybe they're testing this feature. Maybe they're testing some kind of cloud feature. Something to that extent. I don't know, but stuff is happening though. But now we get to the good part. We get to the Pokemon news. So we have Riddler Q. So Riddler Q dropped this another set of emojis. It's a DNA strand, a wave, and a scarf. So a lot of people have been saying that this is related to ZA. It's related to the starters. I'm not 100% sure on that because for one, there's nothing related to fire on here, right? Because if it was related to the starters, you would have something related to fire, something related to water, something related to grass. So far, we got water, we got a scarf, and we got DNA. So I don't know about that. So some people have been saying that it's an indication that legendaries or mythicals that we're going to get in like maybe raids, or maybe they're going to play a part in ZA or a future video game, because the DNA strand could be Deoxys, the wave could be Keldeo, and the scarf could be Zarude, which is interesting. That's a possibility, but I don't see what Zarude would have to do with a scarf. He doesn't wear a scarf. He doesn't have any like scarf-like design, so I'm not sure where that could be. But a lot of people are saying that this is related to the numbers. All right, and the numbers, remember, were 3, 5, and 8. And so Deoxys came from Generation 3, Keldeo came from Generation 5, and Zarude came from Generation 8. So that's possible. That's definitely possible. But the other possibility is that this is possibly a hint at the return of Ash Greninja. Because if you were to think about it, Ash and Greninja fused their DNA together. They fused together to form Ash Greninja. It was a water type, and Greninja's tongue is kind of like that ninja scarf. So this could be Ash Greninja, which I'm not a huge fan of. I was not a huge fan of Ash Greninja. Me personally, I like to keep my Digimon stuff and my Pokemon stuff separate. And to me, Ash Greninja falls a little bit too close to the Digimon side of things. So yeah, don't like it, don't care. Oh, so the next one we have, Riddler Q says, where do you want the 30th project to be based on, East or West? And so when he says the 30th project, he's talking about like the 30th Pokemon game. So the 30th, not 30th Pokemon game, the 30th anniversary project. So that's basically Gen 10. He's talking about Generation 10, and so there's been a big speculation as to where Generation 10 is going to take place, because the last 5 regions have been Western regions. So Generation 5 was America, Generation 6 was France, Generation 7 was America, Generation 8 was the UK, and Generation 9 was, of course, Spain. So where could the next Pokemon game be? I'm thinking it's going to be in the East. All right, I'm thinking it's probably going to be like India, or maybe even that one rumor we had where they were going to do like Pokemon Taiwan. Maybe we're going to get Taiwan, what I'm saying? But I don't think they want to piss off the Chinese that much. But that's possible, though. He also says, and do you think they will tease it on 2/27 next year? It's popular these days to spoil the big ones in advance. So he's saying that, are they going to drop Generation 10 on Pokemon Day? I think this is possible. If you remember, there was Legends Arceus and BDSP were both announced on Pokemon Day. Both of those trailers dropped on Pokemon Day. So it's possible that we could get something related to Legends ZA, and we could get Generation 10 in the same, at least the announcement in the same day. Now, I don't think they will drop both games in the same year. I don't think that's ever going to happen again. But that's a possibility, though. We could get both of them announced on the same day. So then he got a bunch of people. Of course, there's a bunch of replies. He had that trainer D says, "Yup, you're definitely talking about Generation 10 the other day. I want it based in Australia or Scandinavia. I'm not gonna lie, with hopefully a new evolution." So then he says the 30th project is just started so much earlier than we expected. So basically, yeah, this is the Generation 10 he's talking about, and he says they started earlier than expected. So this does not look good for Legends ZA, all right? Because if they're already starting Generation 10, that means that more than likely the core team, the core Pokemon team, isn't working on this game. So the core Pokemon team is working on Generation 10. Because I don't think a mainline Pokemon game, they would trust it to a bunch of newbies. All right, so it's not looking good for ZA, bro. I'm just saying, like, ZA might be good, but that whole, like, oh, ZA is not a big deal thing that he said last time, it's been rattling around in my head, man. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, bro. So then he goes on to say, any more Legends ZA info? And Q says, soon in many ways, just keep following. So basically he's going to start dropping leaks about Legends ZA. So hopefully we get some good stuff, because this is not looking good. It's looking, well, I'm not going to say it's looking bad. It's just looking that ZA might be a smaller project than we all thought. So we might have overhyped ourselves, which is something that we tend to do about Legends ZA. So then Kanan says, why not both? And then Q says, it's been decided now, and not both, without the corresponding DLC knowledge. So basically, they've already picked the region that it's going to be in. So it can't be both East and West, unless they do some DLC shenanigans like they did with Scarlet and Violet. And then Kanan goes on to say, so by soon, do you mean official news soon? Or more news from you soon? Or both? And then he says, beyond your imagination. So it's about to get hot in Pokeland. It's about to get hot, bro. It's about to be crazy, dog. I'm here for it, all right? Because I'm tired of the drought. I'm tired of trolling through Twitter, trying to find new information for these Pokemon news videos. I got some scripted videos that I'm planning to do, and I've been trying to get away from the news content because there's not a lot here. All right, a lot of it's just 4chan spoil, leaks and whatnot, and it's not the funnest videos to do, you know. So then we also, speaking of 4chan, we have a 4chan leak. And we have this one, where it's a Mr. Mime regional form, which I actually think can be a possibility. Because again, I mean, we are in France, you know, mimes are a big part of like France Parisian culture. So I could see them doing a Mr. Mime regional or a Mr. Mime evolution, or maybe even another cross evolution. Because, you know, we already have Mr. Rhyme. They could do some other Mr. Mime cross evolution. So this one says, the source saw a new regional Mr. Mime roaming around Lumino City. It says the type is Dark Psychic, and it can evolve only once into the regional Mr. Mime, but not Mr. Rhyme. And then there's a bunch of like people calling him gamer words and slurs because it's 4chan. So, you know, 4chan will be 4chan, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I think this one might be fake. This is the first of the screenshots I think is clearly fake. I think they're trying to ride the wave of like Poke Oku, Pocket Oku, and the other people that are dropping screenshots. This looks way too clean. All right, the other ones looked like they were taking a picture of their screen, and it looks kind of deliberate. This looks clean. This looks like somebody tried to make this look like a leaked screenshot. So I'm gonna call cap on this one. All right. So we move away from the Pokemon news on over to some other news. We have Anime Sumi, who is an anime leaker that I found on Twitter recently that actually has some pretty interesting stories. So expect some anime stuff to be coming out on these news blowout videos. He says Boruto 2 Blue Vortex TV adaptation has been greenlit. Shueisha has legally filed its anime production IP. Just like Naruto Shippuden, the project will have a different title than its prequel, this time Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. So, if you don't know what's happening here, Boruto is the follow-up to Naruto Shippuden, which was the follow-up to Naruto. And of course, Boruto being Naruto's son. Boruto, the manga ended a while back, probably last year at this point. And so they went from Boruto into Boruto's version of Shippuden, which is Blue Vortex. So that's the manga that's been going on now, and it looks like that manga is going to get an anime adaptation just like Shippuden did. So that's interesting. That's interesting. So they filed the IP for it, so we don't know what studio is going to do it. It's probably going to be the same studio that does Naruto. It does Boruto now. It would be kind of crazy if they just move studios randomly. But yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so then we move into Overwatch news. So we got a lot of Overwatch news after that season 13 trailer. So first off, something that people have been rumbling about for about a week now, and that is Blizzard is developing a mobile game based on Overwatch 2. According to Jason Schreier and Walter Kong, according to Jason Schreier, Walter Kong is reportedly leading new projects, with one of the initiatives being a mobile version of the franchise. So this is kind of a no-brainer. Most of the Blizzard and Activision IPs have a mobile version. There's Call of Duty Mobile. There's Diablo Mobile, which is Diablo Infinite or whatever, the one that everybody clowned and got mad at when they announced it for whatever reason. Diablo Immortal. So of course they would do an Overwatch Mobile. I could definitely see them doing that. Now people have been kind of mad about this. They've been asking the age-old question, who asked for this? Personally, I kind of hate this question because, there doesn't need to be like people clamoring for a project or a product for a company to want to release it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be really good. Now, am I going to play it? I'm not a big mobile gamer. All right, you know what I'm saying? I haven't really played a mobile game since Fire Emblem Heroes dropped, and I think Pokemon Pocket TGC is probably going to be the first mobile game that I try in years, But I'd probably give this a try. I ain't going to put no money into it, but I'd probably give it a try, though. So we got some more information about the gilded aspects. So the new thing coming to the Mythic skins. I didn't know what was going on in the trailer. So it says, enhance your Mythic skins in Overwatch 2. Grab black and gold color variants with gilded aspects from the Mythic shop. Future seasons will expand these aspects to include Mythic weapon skins. So basically, these are recolors for your Mythic skins, which I think is both kind of cool and kind of lame, because like just making the skins just two colors is kind of like, it feels kind of taken away from the Mythic skin. But on the other hand, though, they do look pretty good, and I like the black and gold color scheme. It kind of reminds me of old school Soul Dynasty, if you remember the Overwatch League. I definitely want the Mercy one. I'm gonna be honest. So, and the next thing is, there's a big feature coming to Overwatch 2. So, something big is coming to Overwatch 2. A new job listing hints at a major feature currently in development. They're seeking someone to build anticipation and drive engagement for this feature's launch. So, we're not sure what this feature is. Personally, I think it could be hero bands, but I don't know if they would need somebody to promo a feature like that. Like, that seems like something that they could promo on their own. So this could be something even bigger. This could be something like 6v6, which is possible. Now, I've got my gripes about 6v6. Personally, I'm a 5v5 person till the day I die. I will always say that 5v5 is superior in every aspect to 6v6. Period. Full stop. Okay? It is better in every way. People say, oh, well, 6v6, like, the DPS have more agency and more impact. How? Somebody tell me how, okay? Somebody tell me how a DPS has more impact when there are two tanks instead of one. You know what I'm saying? DPS can take advantage of having one tank by blowing that tank up with their damage. Or they can take advantage of the fact that there's only one tank and be able to then prey upon the squishies on the other team, because the tank can't do everything. The tank can't frontline and go back there and deal with, freaking flankers and people in the back line. They can't do everything. You know what I'm saying? So to me, DPS have more agency than they've ever had before. But that was one of the things that people kept saying during my old 5v5 video, So it is what it is. I personally think that 5v5 is better, but that's probably what's happening. That maybe there's going to be some sort of 6v6 mode or 6v6 dynamic that they're going to bring into the game. But personally, I'm hoping it's hero bans. I think hero bans would be really cool. I've been going back and forth with myself about hero bans, because people have been talking about it for years. Like the dude from Your Overwatch has been talking about hero bans for like 5 years now. And personally, I think it's a good thing and a bad thing. I think it's a good thing because, it would kind of like, get rid of that element of like counter swapping. All right, because, you can ban something that's just a problem hero, and you can ban it, so you don't have to worry about that hero. You can play the game and have more fun. Now, the bad aspects of it is, one, how do you implement this? How do you give the players the choice to ban a hero without them using it maliciously? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if there's a one trick and they know this person is a one trick and they just ban their signature hero outright every time they see him? So that person's not having a good time. Or if there's a streamer, I know there's streamer mode now, but if there's a streamer and like they hear that person's voice and they're like, oh, that's Kefri. Kefri's in the lobby. Let's go ahead and ban Widowmaker. Stuff like that's going to happen, But the other thing that's going to happen with hero bans as well is it's going to change the dynamic of how the tiers play, because like different heroes are considered to be problems at different tiers depending on what tier of the elo that you're playing in. Like if you're in the meta ranks, they're going to ban like cheesy stuff like Symmetra, freaking Doomfist, maybe Junkrat, Bastion. You know what I'm saying? They're going to ban stuff like that. All right, because that's the stuff that, gold, silver, bronze players have problems with. All right, that's the stuff, my metal rank brethren, that's where we have our main problems, But you get to the higher tiers and it's other stuff like, Orisa, Malga, Widowmaker, Brig, stuff like that, Sigma probably gets banned at probably most tiers because Sigma is that he's good, but he's not like peak good. But he's probably good enough that people will probably want to ban him, So, yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I think hero bans could be a massive shakeup to the game if done right, but I have no idea how you'll implement it, though. All right, and the other piece of Overwatch news we got, at the tail end of the trailer for Season 13, we got a tease of the new hero.
It's looking like a revolution.
All right, so we got this Scottish voice saying there's going to be a revolution, and we got the word freaks on the wall, you know what I'm saying? So in Oasis of all places. So there have been a lot of theories already as to who this is, what's happening, why is this person apparently attacking Oasis? Because you can see like something bad went down. Like you can see like the little Pharaoh fluid sphere is gone. You can see like there are crystals everywhere. Like something bad went down, okay? Something bad went down in Oasis. This was obviously an attack. So a lot of people are saying that this character is going to be a character from the old Titan project, which is originally what Overwatch was, known as Freak. And, you see this character right here. It's got Cannon, Stomp, Attract, whatever that means. That I guess those are his abilities. I don't think that's the case. And there's one reason why I don't think that this character is going to be called Freak. One, if you look on the wall, it says Freaks, not just Freak. So I'm thinking it's gonna be like a new faction. You know, we can see in like the old like Overwatch trailer that you can see these people, these like punk rock looking people, you know, seem to be fighting the police. You know, this dude totally getting killed because he has a metal bat, and that guy is definitely wasting him with that machine gun. But yeah, so we see that, you know, this seems to be a faction. The other thing is, if you look at the preview for Venture back in the day, you can actually see that the little preview they snuck in, the little Easter egg they snuck in for him, is actually in between Sigma and Winston. Now, all of the tanks and all of the characters are in alphabetical order. So if his name was Freak, he wouldn't be there, all right? Because, again, that means that it being in that position means that his name probably begins with an S, all right? So he's probably not Freak, all right? So, but he's going to be a Freak, though, probably. A new member of a new faction in Overwatch, which seems to be pretty cool. So, can't wait for that. That's going to be kind of cool. So, that's about it for this. This episode ran a little bit long, but there was a lot of stories that I wanted to talk about. So that's about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, keep it real and tell me what you think in the comments.